Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking fast, talking furious, talking Matrix Resurrections, considering a way to make this thing better. So the Matrix Resurrections was not too good. I really wanted to like it, so I think that's why I didn't hate it. But I was so confused and frustrated by it. It was missing something very, very important. It was missing a why. Why are the characters doing what they're doing? I've talked about this with Fast and Furious movies, specifically with Fast 8, where the characters' motivations are backwards given their characterizations. But in this movie, the characters' motivations are non-existent. I honestly have no idea why Bugs wants to find Neo. None. I have no idea why they would go after Trinity at all. At least with Neo, he is a celebrity of sorts. But really, there's no reason given for why Bugs is trying to find Neo. Why they need him, other than just to have him around as a curiosity and for study by the so-called Neo-ologists. But even if that were enough, that wouldn't justify going after Trinity. The only character with any why to speak of is Niobe. It is clear that she is scolding and grounding Bugs and Bugs' crew because their actions at rescuing Neo endanger Io. But then she just changes her mind after the visit from Sati, and her change of mind has no why. So does Niobe really have a why for her actual action at all? No, she doesn't. Not really. And as for Morpheus, the stupidest character in the film, his why is that he is a program created by Neo to find Neo. It's at least something, but that's pretty shallow as a motivation for a main character. As for Neo, I guess he has a why, and that is to escape the Matrix. Simple as that. And after that, to get Trinity. Fair enough. But every other character in the movie just does what he says. They have no agency at all. It's not set up why he has the full loyalty of all these others, even Niobe eventually, in rescuing Trinity. It makes no sense. After Neo's escape, Sati says the Matrix is going to be reset, but has not been reset yet because the analysts delayed the reset, expecting Neo to get back in because Trinity is being held hostage. So we have a Matrix reset thingy going on. Okay, just one problem. Bugs, Niobe, and the others have shown no reason why they'd want the current Matrix to remain, or why they'd want the Matrix to be reset. None. So why do they care what Sati is saying about the Matrix resetting? They don't. There's nothing here. No connection to Trinity at all. No reason is given for why they should try to get Trinity out. Everything here tells Bugs and the others that the analyst needs both Neo and Trinity plugged into the Matrix. And they have Neo. That makes Neo a huge bargaining chip. Send Sati to tell her contacts to tell the analyst they'll kill Neo in the real world if they don't get a few things. In the movie as written, Niobe should play that card, but she doesn't. After showing Niobe to be a by the books, protect the city, protect the people at all costs type of leader, even locking Neo up to protect the city, she then doesn't use this massive bargaining chip that falls in her lap, instead throwing away all her characterization on a rescue mission for this new guy's girlfriend. It makes no sense. Therefore, this has to change. The motivation for going after Neo and later Trinity must be made clear. So my change, at the Hollywood level, split this movie's events into two movies. The first movie sets up what I will lay out later, ending with the rescue of Neo, performed simply and quickly as shown in the movie as it was made. The second movie is a caper movie for the much more daring and by that time more important rescue of Trinity. At the movie level, provide a reason to rescue Neo. That is the more important change. That reason, in one sentence, Bugs, Niobe, and the others think Neo is the key to the current version of the Matrix. This mirrors Morpheus' belief in the original movie, but that's okay. The opening scene is still the heavy callback scene, with fake Trinity and fake Morpheus in the modal. It leads to the release of Morpheus. They get Morpheus out, just as in the movie. He has limited information, but as seen in the movie, is a great asset to the team. This whole modal thing is just a cool opening, based on curiosity by Bugs as in the movie has made. It still has no real explanation. Cut to Neo in the Matrix world feeling weird, dealing with the modal malfunction, dealing with his boss, with the analyst, with Jude, seeing Tiffany. Back to the real world. Exposition explains just enough of what the characters know and how they know it. Bugs, Niobe, and the other Iowans know more than they should because they have some machines on their side now. And those machines were great sources of information when they showed up. Included in this is vague information that Neo may be alive. Some believe it, some don't. Bugs and company believe it. And with confirmation from Morpheus that Neo is not only alive, but developed the modal and meant for Morpheus to be found, they believe Neo will have answers. Bugs believes Neo is still the one. They convince Niobe, who greenlights the search for Neo. Back to Neo in the Matrix world for more of his dealings with the analyst, seeing Tiffany, stress at work, blue pill medication, and a video game focus group montage. All of this was pretty good in the movie as is, so I'm not spending much time in this video on it, but it is important to my rewrite. I have to stress that. I'm not rewriting these parts. My version leaves the video game premise intact. I liked it. Neo's first encounter with Morpheus happens. It is a very quick one. It doesn't go well. Back to the real world. We see a one-on-one between Niobe and Bugs. What questions might Neo have answers to if they get him out? This is where the current version of the Matrix is revealed. Some of the humans, at least Niobe and now Bugs, know about the different versions of the Matrix, the role of the one in the previous Matrix, and only blurry details, but enough detail on the current Matrix to know it is bad news and they can't just sit as they have for 60 years. Niobe explains to Bugs and the audience that the Oracle and Architects Matrix, built after the siege of Zion and Neo's actions to save Zion, was built on greater choice, and greater choice to leave the Matrix, leading to a big uptick in the freeing of minds, including Bugs' mind. This increase in freed minds is the reason Zion and Io were able to develop separately and apart. Zion, led by Morpheus, believed Neo had solved everything and relied much less on freeing minds than Io, gradually reducing its Matrix-born population. Io continued to grow by freeing minds. Eventually, Zion was destroyed. At some point near the end of the war between the machines, word came of the new power rising, a literal power, a literally more efficient matrix. Soon after this, the Oracle went quiet and all the mind freeing stopped abruptly. That, along with limited intelligence provided by the machines on their side, has given Niobe the information needed to act. Neo is the starting point. They must know what he knows, and they suspect he is the key to the new matrix in some way. Then it is back into the matrix world and the rescue attempt for Neo. Neo and Morpheus have the building evacuation bathroom scene and shootout. This is now Neo's second encounter with Morpheus. He refuses to go. This is followed by Neo's meeting with the analyst, followed by another visit with Tiffany, followed by being saved by Bugs on the rooftop and his following Bugs. They get Neo out, but it isn't easy. Neo is more reluctant than he is shown to be in the movie. He thinks he's going crazy. He thinks he is stuck in the matrix, but he also thinks he is happy. He tells himself he wasn't really going to jump when Bugs grabbed him. He thinks he is happy to have what he has. He is afraid he will never see Tiffany again if he follows Bugs and company. Desire and fear, just as the analyst explains later. Though this bit of exposition will come in the second movie, as I've written it, having been well set up by Neo's feelings here. Bugs and company become desperate with Neo and resort to explaining that Jude and many others, including Tiffany, are just bots, or handler programs, special control programs for Neo, rather than real people. Neo freaks out over this, but actually buys the lie about Tiffany being a bot. He tells himself Tiffany is dead, he takes the red pill, and is removed from the Matrix. But of course, as in the movie, during his rescue, he sees the other pod and knows it's Trinity. Instead of being weak after being rescued and brought to the ship, Neo is furious. He fights with Bugs and company over their lying about Trinity. He has to be restrained, locked up again. They won't be going after Trinity, because in my version, unlike in the movie as made, they do things for reasons other than that it was written in the script. Neo is interrogated. Turns out he knows less than expected. But Bugs and Morpheus see his power when he is jacked in, as in the original movie, and still think they have what they need. They think he is the key to the current Matrix. They expect the Matrix to be shut down, rebooted, some change to happen, some opportunity to arise. Instead, nothing, not a peep, less than nothing. Machine spies and Sati arrive with bad news. The Matrix is as good as ever. They confront Neo. We thought you were the one. We thought it depended on you. Neo has no answer, other than that he never believed he was the one. Only two people ever truly believed. Morpheus believed out of nothing but mere blind faith, and Trinity believed out of pure faith, evidence, and love. And unlike Morpheus, Trinity is jacked in. Neo saw her. Apparently that's enough for this version of the Matrix. Business as usual. Neo is a great disappointment. If they want to upset this Matrix, they'll have to go after Trinity. The end. So what does this do for us? I've said it already. It gives us a why. It gives us a reason all these characters are doing what they are doing. Why it is important to get Neo out. They believe getting Neo will damage the current version of the Matrix and give them an opportunity. They end up wrong, but that's okay. To deepen things, the reveals show they are driven by dual desires. One, they know the current version of the Matrix is extra cruel and inhumane compared to previous versions. They want to stop this. It is especially cruel compared to the compromised version existing at the close of the original trilogy. This is one desire, simply to help the people trapped in the Matrix. But there's another, more important desire. They suspect the current version of the Matrix is not based on choice, but on desire and fear, on anguish and suffering. As such, the current Matrix put an abrupt end to choice, and thus to the freeing of minds. Niobe and other elders know, and younger Iowans like Bugs suspect, that Io cannot sustain itself without mind freeing, because they need freed minds to spike the population and gene pool, but also because only freed minds come with the hardware required to jack in. Io-born humans can't access the Matrix. Thus, this new Matrix will literally cut Io off from the Matrix world through attrition of its Matrix-born jackable residents, and with that goes any version of meaningful resistance against the Matrix. This is the truly sinister nature of the analyst version of the Matrix. Therefore, the need to resume freeing minds is desperate. This is a great dual desire to have behind the character's actions, but it is also a great moral argument for the movie to have at its center, at the core of all the big actions, because it means that at this point, Io is actually relying on the fields of human copper tops, just like the machines are. Io needs them. They of course need them in their freed forms rather than their enslaved forms, but still, they need them. My rewrite thus gives an acceptable why to the actions of our characters, and it also places a novel moral argument at the center of the new Matrix trilogy, a question that if I were writing it would be explored in the third movie, the second movie to be a pure Ocean's 11 heist movie to get Trinity, ending with the open and devastating revelation of Niobe's and Io's need for Matrix-born people and calling into question the motives behind Io's aggressive freeing of minds in the first place. The third movie explores this question. The question framed another way, machines can choose the human side. So, can humans choose the machine side? And if so, does Io respect that as a choice? So there you have it. That's how I would have advised reconfiguring this movie. I think with my changes, it still serves the purpose of setting up multiple sequels that can print some money, which is the entire reason for the movie being made, so we can't ignore that. And I think it respects the basic premise behind Matrix Resurrections as written and made, which is 1. Updated and more cruel Matrix, 2. Resurrected Neo and Trinity, and 3. Video game cover story. Let me know what you think about these ideas down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked. Consider subscribing, but in the meantime, keep it fast, keep it furious.
This is how it all began.